and Committee on Appropriations to extend parliamentary courtesy of the Office of the President
I object,
and recognition
Mr.
of
Chair.
is distinguished role and significance in government. I move that we terminate the budget hearing of the Office of the President.
Is there a second
I
to the
object,
motion?
Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair,
Is
let
there
me
any
explain the
objection?
objection. I object, Mr. Chair.
Yes.
Objection.
Yes.
Mr. Chair, I object dahil sabi po ng Presidente, all government agencies undergo the same process tuwing budget deliberations bilang sagot sa Office of the Vice President, Mr. Chair. So kung ganun, Mr. Chair, na ita-terminate natin ngayon yung deliberations, we are affirming ang pagiging brat ng Vice President. And in fact, Mr. Chair, pinapalabas natin na nagsisinungaling yung mismong Presidente by evading the process of Congress na mag-undergo ng scrutiny, Mr.
Please
Chair.
take back your statement na nagsisinungaling yung Presidente.
No,
That is not
Mr. Chair,
uncalled
that would depend on the decision of
uncalled
this
for.
committee.
Yeah.
Kasi
That
on
is
record
uncalled
yun,
for.
Mr. Chair, sinabi yun ng Presidente,
Chairman.
Mr.
Uncalled
Chair.
for.
Mr. Chairman,
for. Yes.
I move that we delete the statement nagsisinungaling ang presidente. That's very unparliamentary. So move, Mr.
I did not say that, Mr. Chair. I said
Okay,
that
order,
would
please,
depend
order.
on the actions of this
Order.
committee, Mr. Chair.
Yep.
So, we are appealing from the Makabayan Bloc na makapagsalita po at makapagtanong.
Point
Kasi
of
po,
order, Mr. Chair.
Hold on,
I
hold
have
on.
a pending motion.
She has the floor. We will let her finish, then I will recognize Congressman Jerry. So,
The statement of the Honorable Raul Manuel, specifically the terms pagsisinungaling, be deleted from the records.
there is a motion. Is there
I
any
object,
second
Mr.
to the
Chair, and allow me to explain my objection. Again, kung babalikan natin yung
Point
records,
of order,
Mr. Chair,
Mr.
I did
Chair.
not
I have a
claim.
pending motion.
Wait. Okay.
The office of the President, a cornerstone of our government, plays a pivotal role in managing and coordinating the programs, activities, and projects in the executive branch. This coordination ensures that every policy, program, and initiative is unified in its purpose and contributes to the overarching goals of the Marcos administration. Moreover, the Office of the President plays a vital role in formulating national policies consistent with the administration's strategic agenda, which seeks to promote economic stability, inclusive growth, and the welfare of the Filipino people. To fulfill its mandate, the OP is proposing a budget of 10.506 billion pesos to ensure that the essential work of policy formulation, governance, oversight, and strategic coordination is delivered to its stakeholders, the national government and the Filipino people. The Office of the President holds a unique and critical role in our system of government. As the highest executive authority, it is tasked with the day-to-day administration of the government, the execution of laws passed by Congress, and the protection of national interests. It is vital that we allocate the necessary resources to the Office of the President to ensure the efficient functioning of our government and the continued service to our people. Maray Naga, asin Diyos mabalos sa Indugabos. Before we proceed, may we now yield the Vice Chair to Toby Chanco.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman. Good morning to our guests from the Office of the President, led by our Executive Secretary, Lucas P. Cruz-Amin. Sir Executive Secretary, you now have the floor. You may proceed with your presentation.
Mr. Chair, and the other members of this committee, good morning. It is an honor for me to appear before this committee to present, explain, and above all, seek the members' support for the proposed budget of the Office of the President for fiscal year 2025. Our attendance here as a delegation from the Office of the President is not merely for purposes of compliance with the legal requirement to present our proposed budget before a co-equal branch upon which the power to appropriate is conferred by the Constitution. Most important, we are here as a manifestation of the President's commitment to honor and respect the Congress as our partner in upholding the country's national interests as well as in promoting the welfare of our people. I am taking this opportunity, Your Honors, to convey the President's view on our existing legislative relations, which is anchored on the principle that governance will be significantly improved through the efforts of our branches to work alongside each other with utmost respect for each other's mandate. Thus, the Office of the President will fully cooperate with the Congress for it to be able to fulfill its constitutional mandate as the keeper of the purse. For fiscal year 2025, the Office of the President requests a budget of 10,506,201,000 to perform its mandate for the people. This amount, if I may point out, is 1.88% lower than the budget of the Office of the President in fiscal year 2024 and represents a mere 1/9 of 1% of the proposed total budget, national budget for fiscal year 2025. Nonetheless, we believe that the proposed amount will be sufficient and adequate for the President to meet the exacting demands of being the head of state and of government, the chief architect of Philippine foreign policy, and the commander-in-chief. The budget proposal will later be discussed in detail for the appreciation of this committee. We have determined that the reduction in the budget being proposed will not affect the delivery of services by the President to the people. More meetings will still be conducted, more presidential public engagements will still be held, the Cabinet will still be convened as often, if not oftener. The consultations in Malacanang, befitting its role as the policy center, will still be constant and regular. However, these activities will be conducted and held economically, mindful of the need to provide quality services for the people with less financial requirement in support of the Bagong Pilipinas brand of governance. The budget adjustment will still accommodate the logistical requirements of honoring invitations from foreign leaders to visit their countries, diplomatic initiatives which would yield job-creating investments that will hasten support for our post-pandemic economic recovery. It can also sufficiently support the implementation of the necessary infrastructure works within the palace complex that have stalled due to the pandemic in furtherance of the Build Better More priority program of the President, as well as to safeguard the overall security of all those who work hard for the attainment of the objectives of the presidency. Taking into consideration the Philippine Green Building Code, the Fire Code of the Philippines, the Philippine Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Act, and the protection of heritage and cultural buildings. These projects are all implementation ready and shall be completed within the fiscal year in accordance with the cost-based budgeting policy. Your Honors, before we present the charts that explain our proposed budget in detail, let me just point out that, as in the previous years, we crafted this budget within the parameters and process set by the Department of Budget and Management. Thank you, Your Honors.
Thank you very much, Executive Secretary Bersamin, who will present the budget.
morning, Your Honors. I am presenting the proposed budget of the Office of the President for fiscal year 2025. As previously stated, the honorable members, the Office of the President is respectfully requesting a budget of 10,506,201,000 pesos. This proposed budget covers the funding requirement of the Office of the President for personnel services in the amount of 1,334,205,000, which is equivalent to 12% of the entire budget. Maintenance and other operating expenses of 7,955,419,000, representing 75% of the budget, and capital outlay in the amount of 1,216,577. In terms of appropriation source, the budget of the Office of the President has an agency-specific budget of 10,446,475,000 pesos and automatic appropriations in the amount of 59,726,000 pesos. Compared to the 2024 appropriation of the Office of the President, the proposed fiscal year 2025 budget is lesser by 101.87%. The decrease in the budget is accounted by the following. In terms of personnel services, the budget has increased by 4.26% or 52,088,000 pesos. For maintenance and other operating expenses, the budget has increased by 2.69% or equivalent to 208,442,000 pesos, and the proposed capital outlay allocation has decreased by 27.42%, a decrease of 459,628,000 pesos. For the automatic appropriations, Your Honor, the funding requirement for retirement and life insurance premiums has decreased by 4.25%. On the pension allocation, there is no change. Overall, Your Honors, the decrease in the budget is 1.88%, equivalent to 201,726,000 pesos. That is all, Your Honor. Thank you very much.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Vice Chair Ching Bernos.
Mr. Chair, as part of the long-standing tradition and practice of the House of Representatives and Committee on Appropriations to extend parliamentary courtesy of the Office of the President
I object,
and
Mr.
recognition of
Chair.
is distinguished role and significance in government, I move that we terminate the budget hearing of the Office of the President.
Is there a second
I
to the
object,
motion?
Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair,
Is there
let me
any
explain the
objection?
objection. I object, Mr. Chair.
Yes. so-
Objection.
Yes.
Mr. Chair, I object dahil sabi po ng Presidente, all government agencies undergo the same process tuwing budget deliberations bilang sagot sa Office of the Vice President, Mr. Chair. So kung ganun, Mr. Chair, na ita-terminate natin ngayon yung deliberations, we are affirming ang pagiging brat ng Vice President. And in fact, Mr. Chair, pinapalabas natin na nagsisinungaling yung mismong Presidente by evading the process of Congress na mag-undergo ng scrutiny, Mr.
Please
Chair.
take back your statement na nagsisinungaling yung Presidente.
No,
That is not
Mr. Chair,
uncalled
that would depend on the
that
decision
is
of this
uncalled
committee.
for.
Kasi
That
on
is
record yun,
uncalled
Mr.
for.
Chair, sinabi yun ng Presidente,
Chairman,
Mr.
Uncalled
Chair.
for.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
I move that we delete the statement nagsisinungaling ang Presidente. That's very unparliamentary. So move, Mr.
I did not say that, Mr. Chair. I said
Okay,
that
order
would
please,
depend
order.
on the actions of this
Order.
committee, Mr. Chair.
Yeah, but we have to delete that portion where you're insinuating that there will be pagsisinungaling if we follow tradition. No, because everything that is tackled in this committee and everything in the House is voted upon by the majority. So whatever the majority rules on does not mean that there is pagsisinungaling. It is just the will of the majority by which a democracy performs, okay? So since you have an objection, we will now divide the House. All those, yes. Yes, you're correct.
Mr. Chair.
Paki-off sandali. Mr. Chairman, there are two pending motions, so we are tackling the first motion, just to be clear.
Point of order, Mr. Chair.
Yeah, one motion at a time. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
The first motion is the motion of the Vice Chair, Congresswoman Ching Bernos, to extend the parliamentary courtesy and terminate the briefing of the budget of the Office of the President. All those in favor, please raise your hands. Please have a hand count. Forty-eight are in favor of the motion. How many are against the motion? 48 are against, and 48 are in favor, and 3 are against. The motion is carried. The budget of the Office of the President is hereby.
Point of order, Mr. Chair.
Yes, what is the point of order?
Yes, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, Section 104, questions of privilege, Mr. Chair. Questions of privilege are urgent matters directly and indirectly and principally affecting the duties, conduct, rights, privileges, dignity, integrity, or reputation of the House of its members, individually or collectively, subject to 10-minute rule. Every member has the right to raise a question of personal or collective privilege, Mr. Chair. Gusto po naming makapagsalita, gusto po naming makapagtanong mula sa Makabayan Block dahil meron po kaming mga crucial na tanong kaugnay dito, like the foreign policy, like the Kibuloy issue, like the unprogrammed appropriations issues, Mr. Chair. So, Mr. Chair, pwede po bang mag-ruling kayo doon muna, Mr. Chair?
Yes, the chair will rule on the point of order. No? According to Section 105, the definition is correct. But this is not the proper venue to raise a question of privilege. The proper venue to raise a point of privilege is the plenary. So, Congressman Brosas, you can raise your question of privilege this afternoon at 3 p.m. at the plenary.
Mr.
That
Chair.
is the ruling of the chair.
Mr. Chairman, I have a
Mr.
pending
Chair, I'm
motion.
appealing.
Point of order, Mr. Chair. I have a
hold on,
pending motion
hold
that
on,
should be
hold on,
ruled.
Hold on. So the chair has ruled on the point of order.
Yes, Mr. Chair. I am appealing, Mr. Chair, kasi sinasabi po natin na kailangan sa plenary. But Mr. Chair, ang rules naman natin ay for all, Mr. Chair. So, we are appealing from the Makabayan Block na makapagsalita po at makapagtanong.
Point
Kasi
of
po,
order, Mr. Chair.
Hold
I have
on.
a pending motion.
She has the floor. We will let her finish, then I will recognize Congressman Jarid. So we will let Congressman Brosas finish.
yes, Mr. Chair, I am appealing to the Chair, Mr. Chair, na baguhin naman na magkaroon no, ng mga questions dito sa Office of the President, Mr. Chair. Gusto pong malaman ng taong bayan yung mga tanong na ito. Gusto po namin makapagsalita dito, Mr. Chair. So, Mr. Chair, can you rule on this also, Mr. Chair?
Okay, as previously ruled by the chair, the proper forum for the question of privilege is the plenary. So I would like to recommend to the Honorable Arlene Brosas that if there is a question of privilege, to raise it this afternoon at 3 p.m.
Mr. Chair,
So
the
that is the
appeal...
That is the ruling of the chair, and that is the ruling on the appeal.
Mr. Chair,
Anyway,
the appeal is subject for voting, Mr. Chair.
No, the Congressman Rosas, wait, there is a pending motion. Now that I have ruled on your point of order, I will go back first to the pending motion of Congresswoman.
Mr. Chair.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, allow me to
Hold on,
reiterate.
Okay, Mr. Chair.
Sandali po.
Kasi kayo, kanina, Mr. Chair, you have you asked for the votes
Opo.
noong mga nag-approve,
Opo.
terminate the
Opo.
and we object. Can you give us time to explain our vote why we object, Mr. Chair?
Teka po, sandali lang po. I will recognize first Congressman Garin, and then we will get back to you. Yes, Congresswoman Garin.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Allow me to reiterate my prior motion that the statement of the Honorable Raul Manuel, specifically the terms pagsisinungaling, be deleted from the records.
There is a motion. Is
I
there any
object,
second
Mr.
to the
Chair, and allow me to explain my objection. Again, kung babalikan natin yung
Point of
records,
order, Mr.
I
Chair.
did not
I have a
claim.
pending motion.
Wait. Okay. Hold on po. So there is a pending motion. Is there any second to the motion? Is there any objection? Okay. Now we will divide the House. Secretary, please.
First, Mr. Chair, allow me to explain the objection
Point
before
of
we
order,
proceed
Wait,
to
Mr.
the
Chair.
vote,
We
Mr.
need to
Chair.
divide the
Even
House.
if
We are not in the
we count the
plenary.
votes first. Okay? Sige po. Please raise the hands of those in favor of the motion.
Yeah. Yesterday.
$51 are in favor of the motion, and please count those who are against. 3 are against. The motion is carried.
And now, Mr. Chair, allow me to explain why I voted no. Then again, Mr. Chair, the statement that I quoted comes directly from the President. Na-quote po yan sa media. And Mr. Chair, the actions of this committee will determine kung totoo ba yung sinabi ng Presidente o hindi, Mr. Chair. Again, we want all agencies to undergo the fair process. So supposedly naman, kung aprubahan din naman eventually yung budget, then dapat masagot lang po yung mga tanong, Mr. Chair. Ang
Point of
dami pong
order,
mga
Mr. Chair. We have
hinahanap
already
na
decided
mga sagot
that is
ng
moot and academic.
mamamayan, Mr.
I
Chair.
therefore move.
Wait, hold on. Let us let Congressman Manuel proceed.
Yes, Mr. Chair. Kasi nga hanggang ngayon nag-exist pa rin yung National Task Force LCAC, which has already been the target, Mr. Chair, of
Point of
calls
order,
for
Madam
abolishment,
Chair.
Mr.
Mr.
Chair. Pero
Hold on,
isa ito
hold
sa
on,
mga grave
Congresswoman
questions na
Gary,
dapat
let us-
sana
It's
napag-uusapan
not an
natin.
issue that's being
Mr.
discussed
Chair.
now,
Okay.
Mr. Chair.
Yun yung mga issues na gusto nating matanong, Mr.
My
Chair. But
point
we are
of order, Mr.
deprived
Chair.
of the
The Honorable
opportunity
Manuel
because
is
of these
discussing
proceedings.
matters.
Wait,
Point of
wait.
order, Mr. Chair. He's out of order. We're not discussing NTF LCAC here. There was a motion that we terminate the budget briefing of the Office of the President. Duly seconded, objected, voted upon. I therefore move, Mr. Chair, that we go back to what is the agenda of this House. That has been terminated, duly seconded. I therefore move that we suspend consideration of the budget
Mr. Chair.
until
Wait.
1:30
Session
this
is
afternoon.
suspended.
So move.
Suspended.
Chair, hindi kami mabigyan na... Mr. Chair, so we object. Di ba sinabi ko kanina, meron akong motion that we object. Okay.
Mr. Chairman, with due courtesy to the Honorable Manuel, because I believe they would like to have a manifestation, allow me to withdraw my motion to suspend the budget briefing, and it's until 1:30. So therefore, I withdraw that motion, Mr. Chair, to allow the quick manifestation of the Honorable Manuel.
Yes, but before I allow the Honorable Manuel to make a quick manifestation, again, I will state that the statement of the Honorable Manuel, wherein he said something like the actions of the committee will reflect on the President, does not follow, because we're a co-equal branch of government, and the President cannot dictate on this committee or in each congressman the wills of each congressman. And whatever happened here today is the will of the majority. So I just want to clarify that. Yes, Honorable Manuel has 2 minutes to make a manifestation.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, nandyan ang Office of the President to supposedly set the tone regarding the protection of the rights of people. And when we say rights, kasama po dyan yung economic rights ng taong bayan, commitments para taasan yung sahod na ating mga manggagawa, and of course, civil and political rights. Mr. Chair, while the current administration seeks to distinguish itself na hindi na daw ira ng kadiliman sa ngayon, pero Mr. Chair, the actual experiences of the Filipino people say otherwise. At yun sana yung gusto nating matanong para masagot ng Office of the President. Why is it that from July 2022 to June 2024, Mr. Chair, ang dami pa ring violations, 42,000 victims ng forced evacuation, 105 victims ng extrajudicial killings, 75 victims ng frustrated EJK, 145 victims ng illegal arrest and detention, 63,000 victims ng indiscriminate firing, 44,000 victim ng bombings, and 3,400,000 victims of threat, harassment, and intimidation, Mr. Chair. Also, Mr. Chair, mas mabilis yung rate ngayon ng mga nagiging biktima ng enforced disappearances, yung mga desaparecidos under the current administration kaysa sa former administration, Mr. Chair. So if we did not grant parliamentary courtesy, supposedly, hindi masasandal ng ganito yung mga pinadala ng Office of the President, Mr. Chair. Kaya naman, once again, all of these, alam natin, coordinated po yan ng National Task Force LCAP, of which yung chair mismo ay ang presidente. At contrary sa sinasabing na-achieve na ng NTF-ELCAC yung goals niya, Mr. Chair, nagdagdag pa ng mga member agencies, namely CHED, DOST, tsaka Department of Migrant Workers, Mr. Chair. Kaya naman, hopefully, ito yung mga hinahanap ng taong bayan natin. Bakit ganito pa rin hanggang ngayon? Nasaan po ang pagbabago? At ito ang popondohan natin through the 2025 National Budget, Mr. Chair. Yun lang po. Salamat.
Very much, Congressman Manuel. Congressman Rosas, will you make a manifestation?
Yes, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, sabi ko nga kanina, we have crucial questions about the foreign policy, Mr. Chair. Very concerning po yung pagdikit ng gobyerno sa US sa kabila ng tumitinding girian sa West Philippine Sea. Yung pagdami ng EDCA bases, balikatan exercises, war-provoking missile systems sa Ilocos Norte, tapos yung Agreement for Cooperation in Peaceful Uses of Nuclear Energy o 123 Agreement. Parang ready sa gyera ang gobyerno o nanguupat. Mr. Chair, gusto rin namin matanong, will the government go after those who aided Kibuloy? Kasi kung matatandaan, sabi ni former President Duterte, alam daw niya kung nasaan si Kibuloy, pero secret lang daw. Si VP Sara Duterte, sabi niya, nasa langit daw. Obstruction of justice ito. Third, Mr. Chair, isinala nga natin ang Office of the Vice President dito, tapos ngayon nagbibigay ng courtesy sa Office of the President. Double standard dito. Nade-deprive ang mga mamamayang Pilipino na malaman paano ginastos ng presidente, pinakamataas na opisyal sa Pilipinas, ang kanyang pondo. Nakakabahala ito dahil maraming tanong ang taong bayan. Isa na rito ang pagtaas ng unprogrammed appropriations. Noong 2023, nakita ang pagtaas ng i-allocate na pondo sa unprogrammed appropriations mula sa 2023 NEP na 588 billion, naging 807 billion sa 2023 GAA. At 332 billion dito ay napondohan. Sa 2024 NEP, bigla na lamang lumaki ang UA mula 2024 NEP na 281 billion, naging 731 billion sa 2024 GAA. 168 billion dito ay napopondohan na mula January to July 2024. The amount generated for the UA under Marcos Jr. in 2023 was equivalent to the total UA generated during the 5 years of former President Duterte. Dinagdag din ang GOCC excess funds bilang isa sa mga magpupuno ng UA. In-expand ang mode ng UA. Unang beses ito ginawa. Actually, wala ito sa 2024 NEP version. Dinagdag lamang sa Bicameral Conference Committee. Maharlika 2.0 ba ito? Sa 2024 UA provision, sinasabi na may top priority na paglalaanan ng unprogrammed funds. Pero nakalagay din sa UA provision na pwedeng i-modify ang order ng priority. Ibig sabihin, pwedeng unahin, pondohan nang makokolekta sa UA ang infrastruktura, depende kung anong sabihin ng presidente. Imbes na nasa regular item, dapat personal benefits at ang budget para sa public health emergency benefits and allowances para sa healthcare at non-healthcare workers, nilagay ito sa UA. Kung ganon, nasa discretion ng presidente kung saan ilalagay ang pondo sa ilalim ng UA. Pwedeng manipulahin ang program at unprogrammed funds para magkaroon ng dagdag na source. Pork or presidential pork po ito. I've said this before, and I will say this again. This is about transparency and accountability. The Office of the President or every other agency is not exempted. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Yes, thank you very much for the manifestation, Congressman Brosas. Next would be Congresswoman Castro. Would you make a manifestation?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. So, nag-o-object tayo sa naging proseso, no? So, ginawa natin sa lahat ng agency na nag-interpellate tayo, kahit sa Office of the Vice President noong August 27 na ipinakita natin yung ating, no, yung ating mandato na dapat scrutinize, busisiin ang budget ng lahat ng ahensya. Walang exemption kahit na Office of the President pa yan. Isa dapat sa mga itatanong natin, Mr. Chair, ay yung papalobong intelligence funds and confidential funds. So mapapansin natin, Mr. Chair, sa 10 billion na budget ng Office of the President, halos kalahati dito ay nasa CF at saka intelligence fund. So 4.56 billion. Okay, nagsimula ito, no, Mr. Chair, para sa history, nagsimula ito ng 2013, yung pagbibigay ng 2012, yung pagbibigay ng CF tsaka IF. Pero nung panahon ni Duterte, President Duterte, lumaki ito. Naging nung 2017, 1.225 yung CF, at saka 1.25 din yung confidential funds. Hanggang noong 2020, 2.25 yung IF at saka noong 2020 po ay 2.25 din yung CF. Ngayon, pinagpapatuloy po ng Administrasyong Marcos itong paglalaan ng confidential funds. Ginaya po, no, napakalaki doon sa panahon ni President Duterte. So hindi po ito dapat dahil hindi naman po ito yung yung trabaho, mandato ng ating presidente or Office of the President. Last September 14, 2020, during the budget hearing of the Office of the President, for the fiscal year 2021, Deputy ES for Internal Audit Bernardo said that the CIF of the OP was used on the following: Presidential Situation Room, National Anti-Money Laundering and Counter-Financing, National Cybersecurity Interagency Committee, Presidential Anti-Organized Crime, Philippine Center Anti-Terrorism Council and National Coast Watch, etc. So kung titignan naman po natin, no, ito naman, wala naman po ditong national security na involved. Nasasabihin lang yung mga activities, programs na pinanggamitan noong CIF. Kaya pwede po na matanong at masagot natin, meron bang mga naidagdag na mga activities dito na pwedeng malaman ng ating taong bayan, no? At tingin naman po natin ito, sinasabi natin na kino-question natin yung 125 million na confidential funds na ibinigay natin doon sa Office of the Vice President. Pero gusto ko rin sana questionin, bakit pinayagan ito ng OP that time? So yun lang po naman yung gusto nating tanungin. At itong yung latest, Mr. Chair, kaugnay doon sa ill-gotten wealth ng pamilya ng Marcos. May decision na kasi ang Supreme Court, no? At natalo ang pamilyang Marcos dito sa bid sa Poway Complex. Ano nang gagawin ng ating Pangulo? This is a Supreme Court decision. So, ano ba yung maipapaliwanag niya sa ating mga kababayan? Kaugnay nito, no, more than sinasabi dito sa decision, Mr. Chair, yung laki ng 576,787 square meters na inari nung panahon ng dating Pangulo Ferdinand Marcos Sr. na dapat na maibalik dahil ito ay public land. Kaya ano na po yung magiging desisyon ng ating Pangulo kaugnay nito. So yun lang po, Mr. Chair, wala namang masama kung mag-interpellate tayo dahil ito ay may kinalaman sa ating budget pa rin. Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Mr. Chair.
Yes, before I recognize our Senior Vice Chair, Stella Kimbo, the manifestations of Congressman Manuel, Congresswoman Brosas, and Congresswoman Castro are well taken. We thank you very much for your manifestations in order for the Office of the President to prepare the reply so that we can explain it fully during the plenary sessions. Thank you very much po. Yes, Senior Vice Chair Stella.
Yes, Mr. Chair. Maikling manifestation lang po. Paglilinaw lang po sa ating mga kababayan na maaaring nanonood ngayon. Ngayong umaga po, wala pa pong approval na nangyayari po sa budget ng ating OP. Lang po ang ating OP sa ating budget at tayo naman po ay nakikinig lamang. And meron pa pong isa pang pagkakataon, yung pong plenary debates na mag-uumpisa pa po sa September 16. At rest assured po na lahat po ng mga katanungan ay meron pa pong isa pang pagkakataon, which is during the plenary debates. At napakahusay naman ang ating budget sponsor, of course, the Honorable Toby Tiangco, at siya po ang haharap po sa inyo at sasagutin po lahat yan. And of course, ang ating kagalang-galang na Executive Secretary, si Sir Lucas Bersamin, at kasama ang buong team ay babalik po dito sa plenaryo. So, salamat po, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair,
Mr. Chair.
Yes,
in connection
Majority
with that,
Leader.
as Majority Leader, I'll give time in the plenary for those House members who wish to interpolate on the matter, particularly in the Office of the President.
yes, and
I'll give them plenary time.
yes,
Okay.
Majority Leader, I think Congresswoman Brosas wanted to raise a question of privilege. I hope she could be given the time this afternoon.
Yeah, Mr.
Yes.
Chair, I now move that we
Wait,
suspend
hold
the...
on, hold on. Yusek Liberato, please, did you take note of the manifestations of Congressman Manuel, Congresswoman Brosas, and Congresswoman Castro?
Yes, Your Honor.
Please make sure that we properly address them during the plenary.
Yes, Your Honor.
One more question. Do you have any pending AOM with the COA with regards to confidential or intelligence funds?
Your Honor, we have not received any audit observation memorandum from the Commission on Audit about the intelligence or the confidential fund of the Office of the President.
Is there any representative from the COA who can confirm that? None? Okay. But you are sure that there's no AOM?
Certainly, Your Honor.
Okay. So thank you very much. Yes, Congresswoman Garin.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I now move that we suspend budget briefing until 11 o'clock this morning. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Yes, budget briefing suspended till 11 o'clock for the office of the POC.